We back, chat. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone? Happy week after Thanksgiving. Happy recovery week. Happy December. It's December 1st. Patrick, Talmax, So Regardless. Thank you all for the subs. We got a hype train rolling right out the gate. Good morning from snowy Toronto. How much snow so far? So it's no snow here, but there were flurries in Atlanta. That's like a big deal. It gets on the news. It's like 45 degrees here, something like that, which is awesome. Like, I'm totally down for the 40s. Give me the 40s anytime. I can wear the flannel shirts or the hoodies. It's purple. The cast is purple. It's just the lighting. So it's hard to see. So the orange was the nuclear option. I wasn't going for that. Although if I have to next week I get my cast off for X-rays. So if they have to put me back in a cast instead of a splint, I might just go eye searing orange and we'll see. But it's definitely what high vis orange. So yeah, good morning to y'all. Have a Corinne, thank you for the sub. We got a hype train going. Let's go. I can't do this as fast anymore. Man, I jammed the hell out of my arm yesterday. Whew. Saw 16 cars run off the highway this morning. Jesse, we need a snow count from Jesse. Any snow in Colorado today? Sometimes the splints are cast that are removable, but they use the same casting material. I had no idea, Talmax. So maybe I'll have one of those. They said it would be removable. Like if it's healed well enough, I'll get something that I have to wear every day, but is removable, like when I take a shower, right? So, yeah, I didn't realize that. So, snow on the ground, more today, more tomorrow. Still snowing. Yeah, so we'll get like in the 20s at night and the 40s during the day. Like by tomorrow it'll be in the 50s during the day. That's like nothing. So I am totally good with that. Get you one of those fancy 3D printed hat casts that's full of holes. I already hate getting water in this one, so it's waterproof, but you kind of got to wash it some because it gets a little rank. And so I don't know that I want even more holes in there, although it would dry faster. Like it's taken like an hour to dry this thing. Hunter, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate you. Y'all are awesome. Thank y'all so much. Cal's had 2 5-inch snowfalls already, but is that light? The water wouldn't even stick. Yeah, so maybe it would dry faster. Like I want to take a hair dryer and jam it through here. Riley, Brad, I've heard you talk about your enjoyment of Warcraft and RPGs back in the day. Yeah, I'm playing the new World of Warcraft campaign. Shadowlands. I've been very much enjoying that. I can have one commitment game at a time. For the past couple years, that's been Destiny on the PlayStation, and I've kind of gotten bored with that. Went back to Warcraft after a 6-year, I think it was 6-year hiatus. And I'm enjoying it. It's hard to play with the cast on a mouse and PC, so I don't play that much yet, but eventually will. I spent the morning rebuilding a missing blog post with zero help from WordPress for sport. Thank God for the Internet Wayback Machine. When this year's subscription comes up, I may need to take a look at Squarespace. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. You can set up a trial. I love Squarespace because it's easy, right? Because they handle all like the back end and the maintenance, and if I do have to open a ticket, I get pretty good response times if I'm seeing an issue. So I mean, I've been happy. Yeah, they sponsor us, have sponsored us for years and years, but I mean, I've been on that platform for a long time now, and I'm consistently happy with it. So yeah, like I mean, there's options out there, so yeah, we'll see. Any interest in Cyberpunk 2077? Yeah, definitely. I might just wait. Like, I'm not like pre-order interested. That might be a wait until I get a new next gen console interested, because I don't know if I'll play it on PC. I could play it on PC. We'll see. We'll see how much I can hold off. I'm not good at holding off on those things. The same kind of goes for pens and fountain pens. Like I ordered a pen. We'll talk about in a minute. Old school RuneScape kick. Yeah. Like I played Warcraft from the beginning, like from vanilla. I started like 2 months after it launched. But all my friends at work played. They drug me in, and That was 15, 16 years ago. But I haven't played it that whole time. So, all right. Did y'all do any shopping? Any stationary shopping? So we had our gift guide episode on the podcast last week, which was awesome. I still have some things I need to go through on that and see if I need to pick some things up. I did buy something for myself, which I don't have yet. So maybe I'll hold off until I get it. I think I already got a shipping notification. I'll have to check, but it's coming from Europe, so I couldn't get it in the U.S. What's up, Thunder Viking? Oh, that's good stuff, Evan. Yeah, that's good stuff. Apologize. A little nose running today. So yeah, has anyone going crazy for pen shopping, or taking it moderate, or not getting, like me? I tend not to get stationery for the holidays because I only want to buy it for myself. There's no point in other people, like telling other people what to get me or surprise me with the pen stuff, right? Like I have all the things. Rich Dix, 500 bits. Thank you so much, buddy. Oh, got us over the level 2 hype train. I love it. Thank you. Picked up the cute Himakura calendar from Yoseka. Yeah, like I need to look at a couple of those things. Or the Pro Gear Slim Mini for a crazy low price. Got a Mango Safari and put the 1.1 nib on it. That's awesome. Lamy Stubbs nibs are underrated, my opinion. But I really like the Lamy Stubbs nibs because they have a tiny bit of an edge. They're not super rounded. Like, they don't cause problems. They don't dig in like a cursive italic nib or anything like that, but they have a slight edge. They're closer to the Pilot CI nibs that they put in the Praeras. So that's pretty cool. I like it. Oh, the narwhal. Oh man, I worked on the pronunciation for Skykel. I forget how to say it. That's a hard word to say, but I actually worked on the pronunciation for that the other day, and now it's escaped my head. Skookle. Is it Skookle? Let's have a Skookle pronunciation. I'm trying to bring it back in my head. Skookle. Yeah, I was close. Schoolkill. So yeah, that's such an interesting word to me. You see it all the time, but you never like hear anyone say it out loud. And I finally went and looked up the pronunciation, and then I practiced it, and then I forgot it. Schoolkill. That's great. My wife got me a Kanalea Kahakai the other day for the... Ooh, nice, man. Those are awesome. Woo, Paper Cat Lady, thanks for the Twitch Prime subs. I appreciate all the Twitch Prime subs. Y'all are awesome. DP LaFall got the Apple Arcade stuff. I like the Apple Arcade stuff. I need to try the Last Campfire, but I did do the Apple One subscription. That's why I cut over to Apple Music from Spotify. The Apple One subscription is a really good deal. So, especially for a family like us that's into all that stuff. Or the Faber-Castell Tomito with a 1.1 sub. What is the Tomatillo? What is the Faber-Castell Tomatillo? I'm not familiar with that one. How's your hand doing, Brad? I think mostly okay. Like, my gut feeling tells me, so a week from today, we're not streaming because I'm getting the cast cut off so they can x-ray it, see how it's healing. And then they decide, do I go back into a cast or go into a removable splint? I feel like I'm going to be getting a splint. Like, I feel like there's a lot of healing going on. Like, I still tweak it a little bit if I try to do too much. Like, I tried to shut a window yesterday, which was a bad idea. Brought tears to my eyes. That was a mistake, but generally it feels fine. Like, there's no like lingering pain. So my fingers crossed for a week from today to get into a splint, and then that will be good shape. I still don't know how well I'd be able to write with a splint. Like, if this part here would be less restrictive than we are right now. Nox Echo, 4 months of subbing. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are really awesome with the subs today. I appreciate it. Level 3 hype train. I don't know that we've ever made level 4. That's pretty awesome. Recently got a Monograppa Elmo based on your praise. Such a good call. Got the See It Dusk Goulet exclusive. I really enjoy that pen. I have actually been missing inking up that pen. I'm trying not to ink up more fountain pens right now because I'm not using them enough left-handed to have a bunch of fountain pens inked up. And I haven't cleaned out all the fountain pens I currently have inked up that are some are getting dried out because I'm not using them. And I haven't wanted to like get in there and fidget with a pen to clean them well enough, because that's like one of the things that bothers my wrist, like the small motions, like picking and lifting and poking and twisting. Like fountain pen cleaning is really easy, but like if I'm squeezing the aspirator and got to do it left-handed, and I'm shooting crap everywhere. And like I filled up my Pelican M800 and unscrewed the whole piston mechanism in the back while I was doing it and got ink up behind it. So now not only did I fill it terribly, I now have to go in and clean that, but now I don't want to clean it because, I don't know, it's a whole situation. It's a whole annoyance. Hype train, let's go. Thank you so much. Amazing hype train. What did we get? Choo-choos. Hype hit. Ordered too much. Canalea, Maui Makai, Leonardo Memento Zero are probably the most notable ones. Really nice. That's good stuff. So yeah, back to the Elmo. I have the Tulip one that was kind of based on the Elmo, that the Michael J. Fox Foundation one, orange and red one. That's the one I've been dying to get up, which I think is the Elmo shape barrel, right? I think it's the Elmo barrel. So I've actually, that's the one pen I've been wanting. Out of all the pens I have that I've missed using, I want to ink that one up. Get an orange ink in there. And it's got an extra fine nib, which I love, but man, extra fines just don't work for me right now. That's what I wrote up yesterday. Like I haven't been doing like these full blown out posts that I normally do for Monday. But like I talked about writing with fountain pens yesterday, and just extra fines don't do it for me right now. I'm writing with the Rich Sticks pencil today. So the Tennessee Red from Musgrave. So, yeah. Miss G's Crafties, why didn't you get an alert? Rip. I'll give you an alert. Let's go. Let's go. We cheer. We cheer for that. There's the Grafon Faber-Castell Tematia. Let me put that up. I should have let the link come up in case I was getting trolled. Could have been something dirty. Wow, that my internet is slow. What is up? I have fast internet in here. I hadn't checked it. But I'm not familiar with this pen, and in one of these minutes it's going to show up. I'm going to refresh it. Let's see what happens. My palette silvered came back up at a tricky nib repair. Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah, okay. Now I'm familiar with this one now. Wow, that is nice. Can we embiggen? Can we embiggen for those playing at home? Yeah, you're speaking my language now. This site is jacked. I apologize. But we're not cooperating. Man, I love those Faber-Castell caps. That shape, that was on the shape of the on the Perfect pencil. It's that classic Faber-Castell look. You have to get used to that weird section. Like, I'm okay with it. I can go down below it and grip on it or grip above it. It's kind of in this middle ground. Man, that is pretty. I shouldn't have asked for this link. I haven't seen that one before. That is mega pretty. Great job. Really great. Love it. I might just keep that link up for a while. Open enrollment emails. That's late for an open enrollment. Usually they're like November 1st. Tomatillo. Yeah, I don't know what tomatillo means. Also waiting to order another pen you praise, Leonardo Memento Zero. Order the Pen Chalet Hawaii with matte black cap and section with rhenium trib. That's a good one. Do I have that one? I have the black and blue. Is that the black and blue one, the Pen Chalet? exclusive, then I think we might have the same one. That's a good one. You'll like that. FA nib splice onto the 823. Nice. Oh, wow. That's a crazy. You're very brave, Riley, Twitch TV, for manipulating the 823. Like, I'm not quite into that type of manipulation, although that one's probably pretty straightforward. Oh, so I bought. Should I tell you what I bought? Do you want to know what I bought, or do you want me to wait to unbox it? Maybe I'll just wait to unbox it. Maybe I'll tease you. Because I do have a box here to open of stuff we ordered a few weeks ago. I'm not gonna tease. I bought something for myself. But yeah, we'll tease. But I'll make it up for you. I have new stuffs to open right here, which will be actually a pretty good discussion for us. So I'm gonna open this now, but then the stuff I ordered yesterday for myself for Christmas, I'm gonna wait until it shows up. Sorry. Do you want me to open the new stuff? Should we open the new stuff now? I'm trying to think if I had some other. I feel like I had something else to talk about, but now I'm thinking about opening this box. By the way, give us a knock update. So we've sold like all but 3 of the wax canvas cases, the Burtons, and the new wax canvas Brasstowns and Sinclairs are in the queue for like the first week of January, something like that. And then it'll take them like 2 weeks. So I don't know if that's the update you're looking for. And right now I'm thinking about new colors for Brasstowns and Sinclairs for next year. And a new Burton that I want to do. Marco, Prime subbing for 7 months. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. New bullet journal notebook just launched. Who's that from? Is it from Leuchtturm or is it from something else? Do you have a link to that? Like, I need to see that. I like the Leuchtturm bullet journals. All right. I might need 2 hands to get this up here. It's not that heavy. Ugh. All right. Can you see that tape? So this box is from Germany. It's a large. What's funny? Okay, we're gonna look at this edition here. Oh, that's pretty clean. Let's see. Edition 2, packed with new features printed on our new beautifully formulated and sustainably sourced dot grid paper. Edition 2 is classic notebook redefined. Did they make their own notebook? This is narrower? Is this narrower than A5? When it's open, it looks narrower than... Oh, that's a pocket guide. That's separate from the book. So the book is A5. They made their own notebook. Or collaborated with somebody. This is not Leuchtturm, right? Interesting. I hadn't seen this. Is that, what color is that other one? Is that millennial pink? It's an odd color to, blush. There you go. I didn't know what color. It's pretty. Black and blush. But yeah, they're rolling their own. That's cool. Or working with someone. No more Leuchtturm collabs. So very cool. I'd be interested in looking at that. I might have to order one. Just to test. Free 15% off your first order. Maybe I'll do that. All right, cool. We'll look at that. All right. So, we got a box from Germany. What's funny about this, what I enjoy thoroughly about this, this is my most wanted pens order. And if y'all have heard me talk about most wanted pens, it is Sebastian Guperle, which is the son of Kaweco CEO Michael Guperle. And I don't know the exact relationship between Most Wanted Pens, Sebastian, and Kaweco. But when you order from Most Wanted Pens, you get Kaweco tape. Is this like a subsidiary thing? Is it like an employee thing? Like, it's kind of funny to see the Kaweco tape if it's not affiliated with the literal parent company in this situation. That TWSBI Mini White Gold looks pretty cool. So this box, well, you'll see why this box is big. All right, this might take me a minute to get open. So just an FYI for people ordering internationally, this took almost exactly a month to arrive. I think I ordered it November 2nd, and it showed up yesterday. So, because I'd actually forgotten about it for a little bit, and I went to go look at the tracking, and it had been in like U.S. Customs for a little while. Sorry, this is going to take a little bit for me to open. It's very taped and packaged. And I'm using my left hand, which isn't great. I prefer not to go to the hospital. All right, we got it. All right, let's set this back down. So I recall, I know at least two of the things that I ordered. I don't think I ordered that much for this big a box, but I do know what's causing the box to be big, I think. Plus, it had to ship from Germany. So, oh, let me see exactly where it shipped from. Nuremberg. I don't know where Kaweco is. So that's where it shipped from. All right. We can look at that later. See how closely tied they are. All right. Let's dig in. Oh, here's why the box is big. Let's do this first. There's even a note on here. All right, so this note says, please unwrap carefully. Packages a bit loosely. Factory-wise. Greetings from Germany. You want to see this? Let me switch the cams. Please unwrap carefully. Packages a bit loosely. Factory-wise. Greetings from Germany. So, there you go. Let's see what's in here. Oh, I see what they did. Okay. That makes sense. So there was something particular I wanted from Most Wanted Pens. And then I order from them so rarely, I always browse the site to see what other new stuff they have. And that's what this is. Kaweco pen holder concrete 2 pieces. So this is the thing I ordered. So you can see the box, they're just kind of set in there, kind of particularly. But this caught my eye from them, right? So, not gonna lie, box is pretty odd. These are mega nice, though. So these are concrete. I don't think you can see them on here, but there's 5 holes in each. So these are for your Kawecos. Let's see if so the only disappointing thing right off the top is these are cheap plastic. These are those cheap plastic trays. I don't like this. I like the base. It's going to work fine, right? I'm not dicking with these too much. Ooh, excuse me. I'm not screwing around with these too much. But that's a little... This is like a plant tray. You know that plastic? Yeah, it should at least be foam or something. That's a little disappointing. And then it has a matching base at the bottom. So they'll sit in. So like this, got the holes and then the base. But yeah, do y'all know this plastic I'm talking about? It's like a plant tray. This is the stuff that would crack like pretty easily. The exterior is cool. Like I'll use them. Like they're gonna be great. But that's a little bit of a letdown. Not gonna lie. How much do these run? I'll have to look. They weren't ridiculous, but let's see what that means. Was it $70 for the pair? That's my guess, but I'm pulling them up right now. Oh no, way cheaper. 30 euros. So that makes more sense, right? Hang on, I'll pull this up for y'all. So 30 euros for the combo. That's okay. That makes me feel a little bit better, right? Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. There's a better solution than this though, right? If you want to delight somebody, I would rather, like Naperville said, just cut me a piece of foam and put it in here. I would be happier because these feel cheap. When the outside, what you're paying for is the exterior, right? That's pretty great. But I feel like the interior is a bit of a letdown. Right? But that's why I bought them, I guess, because I was like, oh, $30. $30 for 2 trays that'll hold, what's that? That's 20 pins. That's pretty cool. Like, I'm down with that. How big are the holes there? Kaweco sport size. I don't have one in here. But, I mean, the retro fits in there loosely. Like, I could probably fit the back side of the retro in there. Right? So they fit, like a standard diameter pin. So I think Andrew's right. I think like it's kind of a letdown for what these are, but for the price it makes sense. But the concrete is nice and heavy. I think they look cool. That once I get the pins in there, I'll be totally happy with them, right? They'll sit on my desk or on my shelf. They'll be there's a sub deck in here of another tray, a tray that has the bottom holes. So it's got a little catch in there. So you have the top holes and then the bottom holes. So there you go. But yeah, like I would almost just as soon do a foam. It just doesn't fit what the interior doesn't fit what the exterior is. Kind of. Just my thoughts on it. But for the price, I'd recommend them, right? It seems pretty good. Like they're kind of cool. But yeah, it's a little weird. So I'll load this up with my Kawecos and share them out. I'm sitting here thinking I don't know if I can fit 20 in there, but then probably by the time I start doing it, I can, right? So I like it. How tall are they? What is that? Probably 2 inches. Let's see. Hang on. Excuse me. I should start keeping a ruler in here. But I'm guessing they're around 2 inches. Maybe an inch and a half. Or an inch and 3/4. So 2 inches or less, I would say. But they have some weight. They have some density to them. Right? They're concrete. That's why it's shipped in the big box. Probably cost them a fortune to ship. So, yeah. I like them. I'm in. So, tray's a little bit of a letdown, but you know what? Once I have them up on the shelf and the price I paid for them, cool. All right. That's not why I ordered from them. Need a ruler, use your field notes? I don't have one in here. I've done that plenty of times, though. Man, they packed this well. What is this? Kaweco catalog. They always give you the full work. Packing list. Okay, nothing on there. Oh, I ordered a notepad, apparently. They really did a good job packing. It's just a lot of stuff. All right, this notebook I ordered because it was a brand I hadn't heard of, and it looked pretty cool. Oh yeah, this is that top-bound thing. So this is offlines. Online was yesterday is their tagline. Online was yesterday. We're going offline with this notebook. But it's oh, let's read this. Let me take it out of the packaging. Analog high tech is what it says. We're going to read about this. Oh wow, this is weird. I don't know how to use this thing. This might be too high tech for me. I think it goes this way. This is squirrely. All right. Offlines is an analog high-tech communication system handcrafted in Bavaria. The system is designed for single tasking in the age of distraction. The mobile app supports you as a companion when you are on the go and lets you recharge and synchronize with its minimalistic desktop app. I didn't even know there was an app. I just bought the notebook. Oh, thank you. Tainted Crimson, I will look at that note. I need to pull that up so I don't forget. Okay. This notebook, it needs instructions, I think. I don't know what's going on here. So, there's this. Are these just extra refill pages? Okay, so this is just like a loose ream of pages, right? And it's just held together by a rubber band. But it's got... So it's got this portable holder type of deal. Okay, so this is very thin. And it's got a band on it. So it's got this. We open this way. So this is like a extra thick cover stock. And then the notebook pages are in here. They're all loose. So I guess you're just made to use this as your portable notebook, right? So it's got one band for this, using your sheets like an A5. And then this, I guess, is my refill pack. So they give me more sheets for the base. This is not the notebook. So you keep this together as your on-the-go jobber, right? So this is the portable part. And then you take it, you use your sheet. All the sheets are loose. There's no binding here. There's not glue binding or anything like that. It's just all done in by the rubber band. It's notched here, so they will stay in. So we'll have to test the paper out and see. So interesting concept. I think it's a little overcomplicated for what it needs to be, but okay, we'll give it a chance, right? We'll see. It's normally you don't want a notebook that you have to think about too much, right? Like the idea of the notebook is to get out of the way. Maybe this does once you do it, once you kind of get into it. I don't know. I have a lot to think about this. What's funny is they have a link to their website. No real app mentions. I didn't even realize there was an app when I ordered it. JD Hogan 11, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. So, okay, we'll see. You have the baby version. You can take a note, remove the page when you don't need it, add more pages as needed. Yeah, it's super useful if you need a lot of loose sheets. Right? Maybe this is part of the person who needed the perforated pages in their notebook. So, it's interesting. It's interesting. Offlines.eu, is that what you're looking for, Tropical Geek? Offlines.eu. What's funny, this was the Design Award winner in 2017. So, I don't know does it still exist? I don't know. What is this? This Kaweco's catalog? Yeah. Oh, this is the most wanted pens catalog stuff. Yeah, that can go away. We don't need that. All right, so that was that. But this is really what I wanted to get. This is why I ordered the concrete blocks and the notebook. This is what I wanted. So, y'all remember me talking about the Twisby Golden Horse? That's what we were going for here. The rest of this stuff was just an accident. Yeah, Silver Sport. That's what it is. The rest of this stuff is just a byproduct of me exploring, but this is what I went for. So we talked about the Twisby Golden Eco, I think on stream. We definitely talked about it on the podcast. And this was a limited edition Eco that Twisby did for like the Taiwanese version of the Oscars or something like that, or Korean version of the Oscars. I can't remember. Anyway, it was a special edition, and some shops. You bought a Twisby from Germany with Kaweco tape, yeah, to represent the the Korean Oscars or whatever it was, the Taiwanese Oscars. So yes, so they were selling them. They had them on their site. Twisby did, but they were sold out. And I just happened to, someone sent me an email saying, hey, they're on most wanted pens. The Silver Sport has a steel nib. Are you kidding me? I didn't realize that. That's stupid. That's a terrible decision. All right, so this was just a special edition Eco, and I was mostly curious about the mechanism on this, right? Oh, it comes with extra stuff. Oh, it comes with a bottle of ink. I was wondering why it's so expensive. So this was like $80. I didn't even know it came with ink. And it's midnight blue. Is that their blue black? That's good. So I had no idea it came with a bottle of ink. Little mini bottle. Little glass Twisby guy here. 18 milliliter bottle. It is really small, but it's kind of cute. I like it. But what I was curious about mostly was an Eco with an aluminum mechanism, and it sure does. So that's what made me order this pen. So let's get these out of here real quick. So it's the Eco barrel, the Eco design with an aluminum mechanism. So that's why I wanted to see if that's really what was in here, and it is. That's their brushed aluminum. So the whole thing is their aluminum mechanism. Which then, is it really still an Eco? I don't know. The shape is the Eco. So this is what I was looking at here. So I brought one in here. I brought these two in here to play with. So it's taking the mechanism of the 580 and putting it in the Eco. So yeah, that's what it looked like on the site, but I couldn't tell without getting in my hands. Yeah, so it's got the same, I don't know what you want to call that, the same design here, at the same like little grooves in here. Although it's got the faceted shape, you can see the difference. This one's rounded on the 580. This one's still faceted, like on the thing. And then this is a standard Eco. So it still has that faceting, but you can see it's the plastic mechanism. So interesting, like no big deal, but I found it to be an interesting design because of that. So it's got the golden lion up here. It's got the lion up. Is that what we're no, golden horse? Golden horse up here on the top. It's got the golden horse on the barrel. On the cap band right here, which you can't really see. Let's see the nib. Does the nib have anything special? The nib is the standard rose gold TWSBI Eco nib. So yeah, there you go. Answered. So I ordered this basically. This was like 70 or 80 bucks for an Eco, but I ordered it to see the mechanism. So that answers that question. So they must have these mechanisms are universal between the 580 and the Eco, which makes a lot of sense from production standpoint, but they use plastic for the Ecos, aluminum, brushed aluminum for the 580s, and then this is brushed aluminum in an Eco barrel. So is that an older orange Eco? So I wasn't trying to flex on y'all today, but that's the first Eco I could find when I went to get these out for comparison, and that's the Japanese special edition that I had someone get me. I wasn't going to miss out on that one. Someone was ordering themselves one. I asked them to tack me on. I think that Eco cost me like 65 bucks to get it from Japan to me. So it was the Japanese special edition one. So that's my Flex Eco. That's my favorite one. You know, it's a big $65 Flex pen. Yeah, on the one of the cheapest fountain pens made, flexing on you. It's like I totally use this over both of these other ones. Like this is one of my favorite TWSBIs, bar none. But I mean, not just because it's orange, but because it's cool as hell orange, and it came from Japan. So, like, I like it way better than the Golden Horse. This is a really pretty Eco. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. We'll talk about it on the podcast this week. I don't know if I'm gonna ink it up. I don't know if I might just give it away, something like that. So, yeah, I don't know why they did such a base color orange and country locked it. Right? That's like a pure orange. That's like what Kaweco did with the Spanish orange sport release. Right? So they did the Spanish orange sport release, and now they can't use that orange, and it was just like the straight up basic orange. And I think that was part of the lead up into, hey, we have to write names on these things now. Right? That's why we get like, Paladin or whatever, Evergreen Paladin, and Espresso, whatever the U.S. brown one is, Espresso Mocha thing. So who knows? But yeah, I like all the Ecos. But yeah, it was a little confusing why you country lock a base color. But hey, it's Japan. They're going to sell a ton of them. But I did find that interesting. So irregardless. So yeah. That's the TWSBI. Oh, that's interesting. The metal tool. So the piston tool. I'm going to show you something here. It actually touches the barrel which this is the kind of crap that would bother. Like, I would never design to put the barrel touching the metal here. Like, this is raised like, a fraction of a millimeter. So this lays directly on the tooling, which is stupid. Why would you do that? Makes you want to listen to the Crane Wife. I know. I'll probably have to do like a whole Decemberists run after I'm done here. So yeah, pretty cool eco. Definitely has the aluminum section, and we'll talk about it more on. God dang, I hate putting this on the metal thing. We'll definitely talk about it more on the podcast. The King is Dead is great. What's the concept album? The one with the black cover and the trees with the is it The Wanting? That album all the way through, the rock opera album, that one's pretty great. Is it The Wanting? Anyway, so I got sidetracked there. Yeah, we'll see what we do with this. I don't know if I'll keep it, give it away. Like, that's not, as much as I love this pen, right? This isn't a me pen to use for myself personally all day long. Like, I would pick this one as my TWSBI to use, and I use the 580 for reviews because I got a stub nib in this one, so I use this one for ink reviews. It's a very good ink review pen. So anyway, that's the Golden Horse. It's a great logo, isn't it? It's a super great logo. For TWSBI, it is the year of rose gold. The 580 smoke was the best. And those seem like they went away really quickly. I don't know that they made enough of those. And I'm not that big of a rose gold guy, but they crushed that 580 smoke and rose gold one. I think, Sarah, you have that one. The mini looks great too. I just wish I wish they would mix up the rose gold with some colors as opposed to white and black. I mean, it's really easy to do white and black rose gold. You have the white rose gold. Did Susan have the black one? One of y'all reviewed it because I didn't do it. Maybe Susan has the black one. You can still buy the black and rose gold. That's my favorite. Prefer the Eco Rose Gold to the 580. Interesting. Yeah, I get it. Like, I get it. They do a good job. They do a real good job. You think the plan is for the rose golds to be permanent? That makes sense. The rose golds are my go-to gift pens. Absolutely. They're really great. All right, let me flip this back. Get the monitor off my TweetDeck. All right, so yeah, that's what we did. Here's what it looks like in the concrete. Like, this thing's going to work out perfectly fine for how I want it to work out. It's just a little disappointing in the tray. These trays will crack. If you use these heavily, these trays will crack. That's just what these trays do. But that's pretty nice, right? Like, I think that's pretty slick. Like, I'm totally down with that. It's nice to see that TWSBI has on a reliable kick of good products lately. A couple years ago, I was concerned for their feature. Absolutely. And that's a fair assessment of what TWSBI does and how they've tried to tackle the problem. And it's the same with Kaweco nibs and TWSBI barrel QC. Like, Visconti nib QC, right? If these companies want to stay around, they got to do better, because the noise is loud enough on those problems. And all of them have, Visconti changed their nib materials. They went back to gold. They send their nibs off to get tuned beforehand, right? That's an expensive pen. You need the nib to work right out the gate. Kaweco changed their nib manufacturer, right? So they knew they had a problem, a consistency problem. They changed how they manufacture their nibs. And then TWSBI, has upgraded their designs, strengthened the areas that they were weak in, especially in the sections, right? A lot of us had section problems that would snap. And so you still believe Visconti going gold was more about materials cost? How so, Aurelius? Like, is palladium even a real, like, material, like, that has a secondary market that fluctuates? Palladium is expensive? Like, it really fluctuates? Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Cool. I didn't realize that. Palladium cost used to be lower to gold when they first switched. Maybe. Yeah, that's not an overnight decision, right? That's probably a couple years in the making. Crazy. And we've definitely seen when gold increases, companies increase their prices, and Pelican and Mont Blanc, I think, have both done that in the past. Who has the least consistent nibs right now? Any box steel nib. Those I find to be extremely inconsistent. Kaweco still. Kaweco medium and broad is still not great. Luckily, I rarely run into Kaweco problems because I'm using EF pretty consistently, and those are pretty tame. Palladium price varies a lot. Nice. That's got to be a hard thing to manage, like, worldwide for like thousands and thousands of companies to manage raw materials prices. The Bach Triple B group buy, a bunch of those had to be sent off. Yeah. Box gold nibs are pretty solid. A Bach nib that's pre-tuned, I generally have good luck with. A Bach steel, just right out the box, putting into a pen is a crapshoot. I think it's probably like 50-50. I feel like Bach gets a bad rap. They have different tiers, and it's not fair to judge their bottom tier against someone else's top of the line. I think it's fair because the lower tier of Bach is commonly used, right? So if that's what the majority of people have, what else is there to compare it against? Like, I have a Bach gold nib that's awesome. Like, that's more, that nib alone costs more than the pens that are putting the Bach steel nibs in their regular product in their base product offerings, right? But yeah, like Leonardo uses Bach, but they'll tune it before it goes out the door. That's great. Like, I have no problem with that. Ah, yes, that makes sense, Aurelius. Yeah. Right, that's why it's context based, right? It's not Bach's fault that a certain maker decided not to pay for tuning. Agree, right? You're paying for that in your product. Say with Leonardo, that's part of my price going into that pen, right? That, they've added $3, $8, $15 to the price to tune the nib, and I assume that costs, knowing that I'm going to get the quality. Yeah, totally. I'm with you there. Totally. You think Leonardo's changing nib suppliers? They've already used Bach and Yovo, so I can't keep up with them. I think they're ramping up, right? So, like, maybe they're running into a production issue. I certainly hadn't seen any quality issues from Leonardo. Yo, Gapsy. Has anyone had any QC issues with Leonardo? I don't know if I could tell you the difference in Leonardo's Bach versus Yovo's. Maybe I could. I'd have to see. The Bach titanium nibs, they're not amazing, but they're pretty cool for what they are, right? You just have to understand that they're different in performance expectations, right? It feels completely different. Thank you, Tony. I don't know what was going on there. Does someone else make titanium nibs? Not that they have to. Like, titanium nibs don't necessarily have to be a thing. but does anyone make a better one than Bach? Like, I don't know that you have to have them. Stipula has a titanium nib. Do they make their own? How much does the feed affect performance? Tabata uses ebonite feed in their steel nibs, and my two examples are great out of the box. It does make a difference in flow. Ebonite feeds are generally bought for their characteristics that makes the ink flow better through them. I don't know the science behind why that is. Maybe someone here in the chat does. But that's the theory, is you buy an ebonite feed for more flow and wetness. Someone feel free to, if you're the expert on that, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's generally the idea behind the ebonite feeds, besides they look cool. And you can get them, Urushi'd. You think Bach is the maker of all titanium nibs? I mean, I think for the most part, right? Because, I mean, that's what Conid uses. I've never seen or heard anyone. I know I have one, and I think Tony has one. We have the plated titanium nib. That's the way to go. But that's just more and more at an expense. The plated Bach titanium nib, I have one of those. It's really, really a joy. Ebonite has more surface roughness, which better holds ink. Basically, plastic is too smooth and ink just flows off. Cool. That makes complete sense. So yeah, the plated titanium nib is an interesting feeling nib. It's, I don't even know what to put on that. I was gonna say it's kind of Pilot Falconish, but it's not quite that stiff. Oh, thank you, Andrew. When I switched my 823 medium for an FA nib, I had to get the custom ebonite feed. It was miles wetter and smoother. Yep. They came from, what's his name, Tony? Why am I blank? Fagianato. Fagianato offered that as an option. So when I bought mine, I bought it at a pen show from Papier Plume because they were the only one carrying the Fagianato at the time, and I could choose. And they had this plated titanium nib. It looks awesome, and it writes wonderfully. I just don't know that you can... I don't know how to up and order one of those, right? I'm sure someone's got them. Like, I don't know that Fagianato did those specifically for themselves, or if that was like something they were able to order. I don't know how that came about, but that was an option, and it was killer. And I went, yes, please. I'll take a picture of mine. Once I'm back to using once I ink up a new batch of fountain pens, I'll ink up that Fagianato. I like the titanium nibs, just not for everyday use. Whenever I've had a titanium nib, I've always found them to be better after they've been tuned or modified. Stock titanium nibs tend to be too flexible and just a little bit wonky, but I've had tuned and modified titanium nibs that are some really, really nice nibs. So, are there titanium dip pen nibs? Not that I've ever seen, but if you can get something that fits a box setting, then you could probably get one made. Like Sean Newton would make a custom handle for any nib, and therefore you could get something to fit a Bach nib unit. That's what you'd want. You don't think what would work? I mean, you can get any dip nib. I mean, but yeah, it's not like a raw dip nib. It would still have a feed and whatever. Yeah, Toby just got back from the vet. Oh, so if you're thinking of it for like flexing, yeah, you wouldn't want that. But I'm just thinking of it from a testing perspective. Toby just got back from being probed at the vet, so he's probably ticked. TMI. Oh, any fountain pen nib will last longer than a G nib. I mean, but you're never going to get the flex you're going to get from a G nib, right? That's the trade-off. You can use a stainless steel nib forever in a dip pen, but the trade-off is you're not going to get the flex. So if you want the flex, you have to put in the work to keep your G nibs clean and in good working order and replaced when they start to fail. So that's the trade-off. That's why you don't see these things consistently sold, right? Because they require a lot of extra work. Just like Desert or Auto pens are awesome that fit the G nibs. You just have to commit to the maintenance required to keep it healthy. What was that hack that worked with the G nib where you could put it in a decent fountain pen? Jesse and a well-appointed desk, y'all had the Traveler's fountain pen with some type of hack dip nib in it. Yeah, like I have one of Pierre's G units that, but you have to work at it, right? So it requires even more work than a fountain pen as far as maintenance and upkeep goes. And then on top of that, they're still finicky, right? So you just got to be up for that. If you are, they're awesome. They are awesome for what they offer. That's why those products exist, because you can't get that in something like this. You just can't. No matter how many companies want to sell you their gold flex nibs, they're never going to be like the G nibs, or they're like the old maybe Todds and Watermans. So they'll be good. They'll be awesome. That's why, when we review modern flex nibs, we're like, it's soft and it technically flexes, but you're going to be disappointed if you want your handwriting to look like, swirly calligraphy, right? It doesn't mean it's not awesome. It means it's going to provide you something different, right? FP Nibs carries Bach titanium nibs, but looks like they offer anodization, not plating. Interesting. You put a G nib in a Ninja? Sweet. Irresolution illusion. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Ninja G nib units. I just like saying G unit. The tip of a fountain pen being soft, is that what you're saying? I'm saying no. I'm saying that in fountain pen nibs, modern fountain pen nibs that are marketed as flex, have a bend in them, like when you put pressure on them when you're writing, right? And people want to call that flex because of the traditional flexible fountain pen nibs that you see calligraphers use like on Instagram to make wide line variations. And what I'm saying is modern fountain pen tips are soft. Like there's some give to make some line variation, but there's not what I would consider flex, even though they're marketed that way. That's a hard thing for me to say and like explain. Like I'd have to show you. Or go look at like the Aurora Flex nib review that Susan did on the Pen Addict. And it kind of explained why the marketing of it as a flex nib is not really accurate. It's just one of my high horses I get on. It's like, I love those nibs. They are not flex nibs, right? So the Falcon is soft, right? It's not a flex nib. It's a soft nib. Yes, so you can get modern fountain pens that have some bounce and give and the tine spread when you write, and therefore you make a thin line to a wide line with a single stroke. So yes, you can get line variation in fountain pens. Have you tried a Scribo Flex? The reviewers seem to really believe in them. I have not, but I think Susan did. But yeah, one of Ralph's flex nibs, like that's completely modified, right? Like you can get some awesome flex nibs, but they're really, really individually modified and expensive, right? So it can be done, but you're not going to get that from, say, an Aurora or a Pelican. someone like that. I haven't tried the Mont Blanc one. That one gets pretty good reviews. It's also like over $1,000, right? I think. So I like the Yovo Flex ones, with the cutouts in them. I love those nibs. They're just not flex nibs. They're soft, right? They have line variation. They have bounce. They have give. They're just not flex nibs, and they're probably some of my favorite just to write with. Oh. Yeah, vintage nibs were all finished by hand back when they were produced, right? They could manage the thinness of the materials and just really get it into a situation where you could get this huge variation that's always been the holy grail of modern fountain pen nibs. And everyone tries, and there's a lot of good ones. Whoever makes those ones that Noodler uses with the very high slit, I mean, they flex. I mean, they bend, but it's just not the same. So anyway, that's a whole conversation. That's a whole rabbit hole. Again, like all these things, like super contextual, right? So it just depends on what you're trying to do, what you're looking for. Everything matters, from the nib to the ink to the paper, and how all that stuff works together. So thank you, Tony. GoofyGuy.com. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Yeah. Every machine is a smoke machine if you operate it wrong enough. That's great. That's exactly right. Like, fountain pens is one of those highly contextual products, right? Like, there's so many questions that your answers matter, can change things. Have you seen the Montegrappa online pen configurator? Yes, I have played with it. That is an awesome feature, but I'm not willing to pay. What would I configure? If I configured it, it would be like $1,200, $1,400, $1,600, something like that. I'll just get like a regular Montegrappa for a lot less. I think it's awesome though. Dries has reviewed one, has gone through the configurator and built one. If you look on the Pencil Case blog, a couple years ago he got into the configurator, got the opportunity to build one. It's pretty cool. I love that configuration stuff. It's four figures, and I just go for something else. I'm waiting for the Build-A-Bear of high-end pens. So Montegrappa did that. They let you pick and choose all kinds of things. Aurora Giada thoughts. I don't know. Send me a link. Is that the pink one or there's a new purple one, isn't there? Hey, Cocolina. Hope you had a good week last week. Conan is Build-A-Bear like. Your configurator was $1,800. Marble costs money. Yeah, I didn't even go marble. But, I mean, Montegrappa definitely has the Build-A-Bear aspect down. Sailor could do it. So Sailor did a Build-A-Bear this past week for their low end pen. We're going to talk about it on the podcast tomorrow. It was a little disappointing, I'm not going to lie. So I'll save my thoughts on that for tomorrow. But Sailor could totally do that. That's just, it's highly specialized. It's obviously very expensive to do. Like, does Sailor need to do it when they offer up so many configurations as it is? They would have to charge you twice as much to build your own, probably. Oh, has ink improved in some way to prevent the kind of disasters I used to have, and nowadays is it easier to load the pens? Yeah, I mean, it requires some, thought into going to it, but anyone who's using pens now, like, filling them with ink is it's a foregone conclusion that it's just not an issue at all. All right, what is this one? Oh, I have not seen that one. Let's bring this up. So it's a green one. It's pretty. Giada, US exclusive, 100 pens. That's a real pretty color. And I like that it's silver trim. I like the pink one they just did. I would choose the pink one over this one. But that's really good looking. Super sharp. So yeah, very cool. I like it. All right. Y'all got any more questions? I think we're going to wrap it up there today. Got some work to do. Got some pins to stare at, but not fill. I'm kind of sad. That peachy Aurora is killing me. They've the last few releases, including this one, have been really cool materials. I like them. The pink one that was like a month or so ago, man, that was good looking. I like the Leonardo Bougainvillea and the Gold Spot giveaway. I haven't checked that yet. Men who stare at pens. So Alexander, my friend Alexander, I'm gonna put this in a tweet. I'll do it when we're done. But you know, the meme or whatever we want to call it going around was, you know, what if you did the other people's OnlyFans, right? Like, what if I did an OnlyFans? And Alexander said, well, if Pen Addict did an OnlyFans, it would only be big pics. And I thought that was pretty hilarious. I'm gonna have to tweet that out. So I don't know what made me think of that. Oh, men who stare at pens. That's what made me stare at that. So, Brad, let's say you get abducted by aliens and have to convince them Earth is worth it. What game, pen, and album do you show them? Holy crap. That's a good question. Show them that Earth is worth it. My goodness. Here I am trying to exit the stream, and that's a thought provoker. I'm going to write that down. I can't answer that off the top of my head. I do want to put like some thought in that, but I'm going to write that down because I like those categories. So yeah, that's too hard to come up with. There's too many wrong answers. Chaos pen or Visionaire? Probably Chaos pen, right? The Leonardo with the Arctic blue, yeah. That would have been my if there were 3 of them that came out, I would have picked that one. So if anyone buys an Arctic blue and wants to trade a Stromboli, I'd probably do that. So game, pen, and album. Oof. That's a good question. I like that. The Goose Game. That'd be pretty good. $20 says Mike picks Animal Crossing. That's actually not a bad idea. GTA 5 Chaos Pen Metal Machine music by Lou Reed. It's very on brand. All right. Oh, Coco liked the gift guide episode. Thank you so much. Everyone likes the Chaos Pen to show the aliens. That's kind of hilarious. Goose Game brings out the worst in humanity. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a deep question. All right. On that note, y'all think about the answers. Maybe we'll have answers on Thursday. Everyone come with your answers on Thursday. I'll have my answers on Thursday. How about that? Fair enough? All right. Y'all are awesome. Take care. See you around the internets. Bye.